Well, welcome to Reach Out Recovery podcast, where we talk about what really matters, like mental health, resilience, and the stories behind the screen. So, today we're diving into a topic that affects millions, but still lives in the shadows of comment sections and private messages: cyberbullying. Whether you're a content creator, a parent, a teen, or someone just trying to exist online, this episode is for you. We are pulling back the curtain on the emotional and psychological toll of online harassment, and we're talking to someone who knows this world all too well. Alexandra Ashe, founder of Kinkatopia. She's an animal advocate and influencer who has faced both the love and the dark side of the internet. All right, welcome again, and I will bring up my host after this little intro promo that we have. All right. Well, let me get this out. I am, you guys, those who tune in for me, my channel, you guys know I have a new program called Restream. By the way, I highly recommend it. And I'm still getting used to it, so bear with me. But let's just go ahead and introduce my co-host, Lindsay Glass. Bring her to the stage. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello, hello. Well, this is a really, really exciting day. I met Alexandra a couple of years ago. I can't remember if it was pre-pandemic or during the pandemic. But we found each other somehow, and she wrote for Reach Out Recovery for several years. She was actually wrote wonderful, wonderful articles for us.
Nice.
And we did I think we might have done some interviews. I can't remember, but she's a fabulous writer. She became a friend and a colleague, and I just love what she does. And I understand all of what she goes through. So I'm glad to have her here to talk about this important subject.
I am very excited to talk about this because it does affect so many people, so many of us. I don't think anybody is exempt from cyberbullying at this point, because everybody's on social media.
Yeah, if you're online, you can very easily become a victim. And if you're a creator of any kind, if you're actually posting content, it really is to be expected.
Yes, 100%. Well, Lindsay, let's talk truth and let's talk trolls. Okay. And also, let's talk about how we protect our peace and each other in the wild world of social media. So, without further ado, let's bring up to the virtual stage the beautiful Alexandra Ashe. Hi, Alexandra.
Hi, everybody. Hi, it's so good to be here. This is very full circle for me. I've actually known Lindsay since I was 2 years sober, and God willing, I'm going on 8.5. So we've known each other for a while, and Reach Out Recovery is a huge part of how I found my footing to be able to tell my story to begin with. So very full circle today.
Wonderful. I love it. And Alex, tell us where you are, just so everyone can understand where you are right now.
Of course. So I'm in Boca Raton, Florida, but this is my home turned sanctuary, Kinkatopia. I run the world's only Kinkajou sanctuary, and this is the outside, and this is what everyone has helped me build up since 2018.
That's amazing. And I love that I was like, do you have any ring lights? It's like, girl, I'm outside. It's like, get with it, okay?
We're worried about production quality,
It's good. We can see your beautiful face. That's all we care about. But let me tell you what, before we start talking about this very important topic, I'm going to share some quick facts about cyberbullying. Okay, so over 59% of teens in the US have experienced some form of cyberbullying. And that's Pew Research. That's like, we're going to give you the tea on like where we get our data from. 59%. That is insane. Teens, can you imagine going through being a teenager and getting all this cyberbullying and just,
I can't. because I was super creative. You know, I was kind of a punk and a goth and then a hoodie and then a club kid. You know, I think that I would have been really into it, like creatively, I would have enjoyed it. But I think the other side of that is, had I been bullied, had I put on video
Yeah.
what I was doing at that time, it would have
Mhm.
been a disaster for me. So I'm glad I grew up without it. Sorry, I just need to say
Same,
that.
same.
Same.
Yeah,
Yes,
totally.
I
But
can't imagine.
you guys, adults are not immune. Influencers, public figures, and even small creators regularly face harassment,
Hmm.
threats, and defamation. Wow.
It's
So
true.
I have to bring it up. Did you guys see the news report of the guy who got caught cheating at the Coldplay concert?
Yeah.
That was epic.
Oh,
Oh my God.
oh
And
my
did you,
gosh, go
So,
figure.
do you know
What's
how
up?
hard that guy's getting bullied online right now?
can you
Every account I
imagine?
follow
He's a
is
target.
trashing. I just opened my Instagram and they're fake dating ads for him going, "Do you know the guy I'm dating? He dates me."
No.
Oh no.
I've seen
Here's
like fake replays and it just
right, right.
keep
So he
It's
reenacting.
did
crazy.
obviously he did a bad thing and the guy got caught. But
No,
what
Lindsay,
his family is going through now, oh my
Hmm.
no, but
God.
come on, how dumb is he? If you
Yep.
are going to a public place, even if they didn't show your face, there's going to be people. You might see somebody you
Yep.
know, you dumbo. It's just, oh, so dumb, so dumb. And I love how he hit, like, oh,
Yeah.
I mean, let's just like not cheat to begin with. Like, let's just not do it to begin with. But yeah,
yeah,
there's some karma right there for that guy.
absolutely. It's like cheating, no bueno, okay?
Right.
Only people in power can get away with it, apparently. We're not going to talk about that, but that's what's happening. But if you're a CEO of a company, honey,
Oh,
no, that's not going to happen.
yeah,
It
right.
doesn't matter how much money you have. So also the thing about cyberbullying is that it can lead to anxiety, depression, PTSD, self-harm, and withdrawal from platforms or communities. I mean, come on. That's,
Guilty.
tell us.
100%. 100%. I can't sit here and say that this is it's made me want to self-harm. That's something that's, was long in my past that I've since recovered from. But I mean, anxiety,
Yeah,
depression, I mean, I've gone through a lot on social media. Like we had a swarm of Africanized killer bees. And I mean, I consider myself to have a really amazing community overall. They've helped carry me through a lot. Um, but there is, I mean, I've been putting my life pretty blatantly online since 2018. 2019. And it is every single post, every single something. There's someone who has to say something. They have to challenge the way I'm doing something. I don't particularly get challenged for like the way that I look. I'm grateful for that. They just focus on the animals, which is more of my jugular, which is fine. The fact that I feed them sugar,
yeah.
but I know that I can give them sugar. So people have called the USDA on me. They have called the FWC on me.
What?
I mean, as as I get into my story or whatever, but yes, those symptoms, those issues, I mean,
Mhm.
I definitely feel that those have compounded and have made me almost I've changed. I've really changed. My personality has changed.
Mhm.
Um the way I trust people changes because, we've got there's just so much I can go into. But yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't read my comments anymore. I don't really like to get on social
Wow.
media, but I know I need to be there
Yeah.
because I mean I'm like an influencer and stuff, but it's not like I'm making money for myself. Like I'm literally running an organization that was built on this. So it's like every day is a
It's
challenge.
it's a
And
lot.
it's a real
Yes.
trap because I
Mhm.
Yes.
feel the same way. I probably wouldn't do social media if I didn't have to. But rehab
Yes.
recovery cannot exist. We cannot sell books. We
Yep.
cannot do business without
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
And in order to grow and scale, we need to be doing more.
And
Yep.
also, Lindsay, getting our messages across.
Yeah.
Because that's what our purpose is, right? To get the message across and help other people and heal, from whatever they're going through. Alexandra and Lindsay, I had a cyberbullying in the sense that when I was doing chemo, I had this stupid idea to do a podcast that was far right, which is not my jam. I didn't know it was far right because I had chemo brain, so I was like, okay, they have a lot of followers, I'll do it. And I
Oh,
put
you went
on
on a far right.
Yeah, far right. Like
I've done that a few
women.
times. It's pretty funny.
Okay, so one of the questions was like, do you think we made a mistake by allowing women to be educated? I was like, where am I?
How'd that happen?
1659? What the hell? Where did I? Am I in a different timeline? What just happened? Okay,
That's wild.
so
That's what.
I had to wear a beanie with hair because I was bald. And
Mm,
so I cannot tell you, and my makeup was horrible because I lost my eyebrows, my eyelashes, so
mm,
I didn't know how to do it. It was like a 6 year old
yeah.
did my makeup. I'm sure it looked horrible. They bullied me like, oh, you're not, first of all, you're not Latina, you have blonde hair. I'm like, bitch, that's a wig. Okay, first
Mm.
of all. Second of all, they were like, oh, the makeup is awful. Oh, ladies don't know how to do their makeup. It's like, try to do your makeup with no eyebrows and no eyelashes. Okay. And the old part, I'm between 20 and 70. So shut up. Uh, I was like, it was so, you're not Latina. Oh,
Yeah.
they bully me. Oh, you're not
So
Latina. I'm like,
what?
it's like, I was born and raised in Argentina. Who says I'm not Latina? Tell
Right.
me how does that make me not Latina?
Right.
Like, what's the point? Like, what's the point? I don't understand why people waste this time. And then, yeah, they're not looking and thinking that maybe there's another side of this and like what
Yeah.
we in front of the camera are going through,
Right.
Right.
And yeah,
Yes.
that's painful. That's not right.
No, it was awful. And I was so upset
Mm,
that I had to talk to my cancer therapist because I was like, oh my God,
mm,
I'm
mm,
trying to live as a bald, pale, no eyebrows, no eyelashes woman, trying to feel some kind of normalcy
mm,
in the middle of this horrific, brutal treatment.
Mhm.
And they are saying all these things. Of course, they don't know. And I didn't even
mm,
say that because it's a waste of
mm.
time because they're probably going to say some horrific stuff on top of what they
It's none
said.
of
If
their
I,
business.
it's not, yeah, exactly. So,
So good.
but it truly affected my mental health when I was going through a chemical
And
Yeah.
you're already
imbalance,
in a horrific
basically.
situation.
Exactly.
You're
So,
already
no,
fighting, you're battling.
exactly. It's just crazy. And I know, Lindsay, you also have stories.
I
Mhm.
do. I'm going to tell it in a minute, though. I want to bring up the last fact we had, which is, for animal influencers specifically, bullying can include, and exactly what you were just talking about, accusations
Mhm.
of abuse,
Mhm.
misinformation about care practices, or attacks from animal rights activists. So I just want to stick with this one for a quick second before I tell my story,
Mm,
because I know you've been through that. And by the way, the animals, I didn't even tell Grace what kinkajous are. Kinkajous are
mm,
basically South American raccoons. They
Oh,
are the cutest things, but they can eat sugar. That's what
yes,
they eat. They're
they are.
raccoons.
They have
oh,
honey and nectar in the wild.
Yeah,
They're built to get into bees' nests, so they naturally have a high sugar diet. They eat
they
all
want.
fruit, primarily fruit. Yeah. So if I
So
give them a couple fruit snacks, God forbid.
So anyway, Alexandra, I know you've been through this, but also I just want to bring it up. You lost a friend recently, another big animal influencer, and
Mm,
I don't even know the real story. I don't believe what I read on social media. So was it all? I mean, not that I don't believe her. That I
mm.
just what was going on? Tell us, a little bit about what happened, if you're comfortable. And
Sure.
what? Yeah.
No, and I'll definitely just to give some backstory. I mean, I knew Michaela Rains passed away. She took her own life in mid-June, and she had the largest fur farm rescue in the US. Um, Lots of networking, big social media, lots of followers. She's very, very, very well known. Um, I knew her back before all this started. I knew her before my relapse. I relapsed in
I meant to
2017.
send this to you. That's her, right?
oh,
Yes,
oh,
that is her. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
She's
found that for
gorgeous.
you.
She's like
Yeah.
a myth. I think, yeah,
oh,
I'm pretty sure that's her.
Yeah.
She's like a mythical creature. But she and I used to talk about growing sanctuaries, saving animals, doing all these things, and then our relapse kind of split us. And that's totally fine. I've observed her over the years and whatnot, and I've grown to respect her. And I had the opportunity to meet her in person and kind of make that finally a real connection, because before that she's up in Minnesota, so I'd never even met her face to face. But this was someone who I spent nightly phone calls with, dreaming about what we have now. And honestly, she's probably one of the last people I ever expected this to happen to. So, but since her passing, I have gotten close. I've connected with some people who were close to her throughout her life. Um, and it's incredible because as they share with me what she was going through, I can relate so much to the feelings, the daily battle of all the work that needs to be done, all the animals, then having to deal with this. Um, so I wholeheartedly believe I understand and I have some of the feelings that she was going through. And I can't speak beyond that. It sounds like compounded with cyberbullying, it was an influence. She was struggling with her mental health. And this is what
Mm.
I've been told. She was struggling with her mental health, and it's everything compounded and how it influenced. But I mean, I'm aware of it. We're all aware of it. Cyberbullying. I knew or had heard things in past. Oh, it just breaks my heart. It's so stupid. And the animal community, I have a love-hate relationship with it. Um,
Why
for
so?
these reasons, and so for for mainly so with my relapse, it was very public and it was ugly, and I own that. But I mean, immediately people were sharing my mugshot and passing around the story and
Oh,
all these rumors about me unaliving animals and all of these like crazy insane things. There were rumors that I had like charges that I was facing with animal. None of this was true. None of this was true. There was an evening news story. And I mean, I just went to jail and then went to detox and then went to treatment and came home and God willing, managed to straighten myself out. But the animal community, I had to take a year off of social media. I mean, I could have taken more, but I launched Kinkatopia in March of 2018 and I needed to get the word out.
yeah.
But when all of that did happen, I was receiving death threats. I mean, and everyone's passing, like I said, all the information around. So my family shut down my social media, and I've never been back on that again. I've never seen it again. It's been deleted. It's gone. But I will tell you that as soon as I came back after that year, um, it's like people were ready. There's my mugshot. Like, oh, you're going by Alexandra Ashe. Oh, you think you can change your last name? It's my middle name. I'm not trying to hide from you guys, but I'm not running around with my last name. It just, so it was very difficult. And, I understand where people see animals being involved and there's a lot of fear. And I totally own that. I was sick, and I make living amends every day to fix that situation, to end that situation, So, but it was brutal. I had my ex at that time, he was helping me and he kind of like, read through the comments and check out things and he'd look into people and you find that a lot of them had like animal charges against them themselves, and stuff
Right.
like that. It's like
Wow, the
sick people
projection.
going, because they
Yeah.
want to take the focus off themselves. So like, it's nuts.
Wow.
It's nuts. And then there is someone, I know exactly who it is, and it is someone who was involved. I can't, not with like the present Michaela situation. I can't speak to that, but I know that she was a negative influence on Save a Fox is the organization. Just as
Hmm.
she tried to be a negative influence on me as soon as I came back to social media. This woman paid to have a background check done on me, so she compiled, I've been arrested 4 times. I mean, at this point, I've expunged everything. I've, paid my debts to society at that point. I was expunging my last arrest. Everything's, drug charge. I'm not trying to justify it, just
No, it is
it
what
was
it is,
expunged. I
period.
had dealt with it. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
dealt with it. Like, but she unearthed that stuff and the news story, and I declared bankruptcy. She put all of this stuff neatly in a package and found out where I worked. And I just started, I was within the first 90 days of a corporate job as a proofreader. And yeah, she sent all that over neatly to the CEO, well, to the social media department. I never heard anything about this until a year later when someone in the social media department asked me what happened. And they told me, and yeah, they sent everything over, and it was the COO and my boss. And by the grace of God, they decided to just give me a chance. And I was with that company for 6 years until I was laid off and grew my own department. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. But that person doesn't even know me and just right for the
So isn't
jugular. Like,
stalking. It's
Yeah,
stalking.
it
It's
is.
That's creepy.
like,
I never
yeah,
thought
I
of it
don't
like that, but you're absolutely right. Yeah.
And it's almost like a sport. They're ruining people's lives to feel better about themselves, about
yeah,
their shitty life.
it's a
Makes it, yep.
pathological
Oh,
cruelty
yeah.
thing. All right,
Agree.
Grace, I'm going to jump us into the next question because I think
Yes, I love that. But before we go into that, I private chatted you, girl. So before we go into that, I would love to show your video about recovery. Tell us a little bit about what Reach Out Recovery does,
Mm.
okay.
and then I'll show the video. Okay.
Of course. Right. What Reach Out Recovery does. So, Reach Out Recovery is a recovery and wellness company. We have a website. We have social media. We are a small book publisher. And now we have curriculums that go with a lot of our self help books. So, our goal is to create inspiration and positivity and support around all people in recovery from all things mental health, addiction, alcoholism, family healing, and yeah, we want to make recovery fun and interesting.
And you do. So let me show the little video.
Navigating life in this increasingly complicated world is hard. From relationships to your mental and emotional health, life at work, your work-life balance, and then the second job of being in some kind of recovery from something. It can be overwhelming. We get it, we know it, and we have over 1,600 original articles, infographics, and a line of self-help books dedicated to helping you navigate life. Relationships, recovery, and behavioral health are our specialty. You can find dozens of viral articles on narcissism, codependency, signs of toxic family and friends, relapse prevention, managing depression, and so much more. So check us out at reachoutrecovery.com to support all your wellness needs.
All right, we are
I like
back.
that.
We never left because we were at the bottom. If you saw that, I'm learning how to use this program. Yay
It's cool.
me!
I like it.
Yeah, it's very cool. I love it too. It's just getting used to it, engineering.
For sure.
Yeah. But okay, so let's keep talking about this topic that I know a lot of people have been tuning in, by the way, and they are staying, so they're definitely engaged in this. And I want to
That's
say
awesome. Hi,
to them,
guys.
yes, and I want to say to them, make sure you like, comment, share, and if you want to chat with us, if you have a question for Alexandra, for Lindsay, or myself, go ahead and type it in the
That's
comments
cool.
on YouTube. And I don't think I can get the LinkedIn ones, but definitely I can get the YouTube ones. So go ahead and feel free to type and I'll post the comments. So, all right, Lindsay. Ta-da.
The other thing, thank you, Grace. The other thing I wanted to say is, even if you are getting bored, mute us and stay till the end because we're going to give tips. I mean, you won't be bored, but we're going to give some tips at the end for people who want to know what to do if they are being cyberbullied. So if you are in some kind of stressful situation, we're going to give some tips at the end. So I just wanted to clarify something because what Alexandra was talking about, is really different than. So I think there's a lot of confusion out there. What is criticism? What is cyberbullying? And I really want people to be very, very clear because we live in this strange world right now, and understanding what things mean is really, really important. So
Yes.
criticism is feedback, okay? Criticism can be negative or positive, but it's usually about ideas, behavior, or work. It may sting, but it's aimed at improvement or expressing a viewpoint. Healthy criticism is respectful, even if it's blunt. So, for those of us who've gotten feedback at work, feedback in a relationship, I really stress, pay attention to where somebody's intentions are. Because if somebody is wanting to be understood and you're doing things that are upsetting them, you may not like to hear it, but they're not trying to hurt you. They're not trying to bully you. They're trying to help you see what's happening.
Yeah.
Now, cyberbullying and what Alexandra was just talking about is completely different. Okay. Cyberbullying is abuse. I think with that woman, what Alexandra was just talking about, I mean, I wonder if that verges on criminal. That's
Right.
like stalking to me.
Yeah.
So
Who
cyberbullying, it's
knows?
personal, it's targeted, it
Mhm.
is meant to shame you. It
Mhm.
is
Yes.
meant to intimidate you. It is meant to harm somebody emotionally. It includes name calling, threats, harassing somebody, bringing a folder of somebody's past to their
Mhm.
job, I think counts, or spreading lies online. Okay. This is all cyberbullying. It's not okay. If you've done it yourself, try not to do it again. Like, one of the things I learned in recovery is I'm guilty of some stuff that I don't like. So it's okay to have gone on, and I've made some comments on Britney Spears things, and people were like, "How dare you?" And I'm like, "All right, I'm sorry, I'm
Not
sorry."
Brittany. Not Brittany.
I didn't mean to, so it's okay. And I'm going to tell you a story in a minute. So I just wanted to tell you that quickly. And then I'm going to tell you my experience with cyberbullying, and then we're going to interview Alexandra. So you guys know, I've struggled a little bit with the video stuff. I've been a writer for 20 years. I can handle any kind of writing. I can handle any kind of communications. But when it comes to my looks, when it comes to video, when it comes to people challenging my intelligence, my looks, like I'm out the door. I'm out the door. I don't want to deal with it. So I started a TikTok. I'm a late to the game kind of gal.
Mhm.
I made a video a couple of years ago, and I was using a trending sound. And it was just one of those dun, 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 dun.
Mm,
And
mm,
I
mm,
did it about Cali Sober. And Cali
mm.
Sober is a thing in California. Like a lot of people in California use marijuana in some
Yeah.
form. So
Yeah.
Cali
I
Sober
think
is
it's more than just California these days.
okay.
Yes, it is. But it's legal,
Definitely.
in California.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
it's a form of sobriety. And when I made
Yeah.
the video, I had some very rigid thinking. In some ways I still do, in some other ways I don't. And
Mhm.
I was basically saying, sober, yes, Cali sober, no. So over the years, the video picked up steam. I think the video had like 15,000, views or, likes whenever this guy. So a guy, and this is what's crazy about it. It was a guy with a sober company.
Of course. I'm
Wow.
telling you.
Don't want to say
It's
scandal.
crazy.
I don't want any drama, but it was literally a guy in Florida with a sober company who came in the comments and started kind of like talking shit. I
Wow.
know better than to talk to people in the
Yes.
comments, but it
Yeah.
was one of those days, and I was just kind of like, leave me alone. Like, and we got into a conversation, and in this thing, I was like, leave me alone. I use prescription drugs. So he screenshotted that and he stitched me. He stitched the video, and he basically said, she uses drugs.
Mm.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Now,
Wow.
I meant I used antidepressants. This guy made it seem like I was using OxyContin. So
Wow.
a few days it gained steam. I call my friend Laser Kitten, who's also an influencer, and I'm like, "Can you get involved, please? I have nobody to defend me here." She
Yeah.
goes on and she starts trying to defend me. Then people start clobbering her, and she's like, "So
That's another thing. They go after each other.
yeah,
Right?
Witch
What
hunt.
the
There's a witch
hell?
hunt. Yep.
It
nothing
is.
we could say to calm this down." So I
Yep.
end up taking down my video. I was so traumatized. I did not use TikTok for months. So,
Mm.
it was just like, and the fact that it was a guy with a sober company and he
Mhm.
had 60,000
Wow.
followers and I had 2,000.
Wow.
Like,
Gross.
so
No, super
anyway,
gross. Super gross.
I,
But I will say, I've
yeah,
had people take my conversations before a person, kind of rewrite them, and also then try to like
make it look
manipulate a
like you said
situation.
something. Yeah.
Yes, I've had that happened before too. Sorry, go ahead, go on. Hi,
Yeah,
Natalie, by
no,
the way.
here's a comment by Natalie. She says,
Yeah.
upsets me that in the US, cyberbullying isn't illegal. Yet here in the
Mm,
UK, it is. Oh, nice.
that's
People have
awesome.
lost social media accounts, faced fines, and even jail time for it here.
Good,
Yes.
So,
good.
you know what's crazy? Not
What?
only is it not illegal, we have no recourse.
Yeah.
We can report
It's nuts.
people, nothing happens.
Nope.
Wow, really?
Nope.
Yeah. Nope.
Nothing.
I
Nothing.
got my account hacked. It took 3 months to get it back. So, yeah. So basically,
I got a good one. Sorry, this is a quick. But one night I got a message from someone basically telling me that they were going to unalive two baby kinkajous. Um, right? So I get this message. I tried the police. I called the local police. They had me call the Miami police because we thought that the account was in Miami. Literally, it all came down to the fact that I was in no way threatened. They couldn't do anything. I called animal
Yeah,
control. I called everyone I possibly could. And they're like, there's not enough information on the profile. And how do you know? So, like, again, whether that was real or not, and I'm 99% sure it was fake, thank God. But like,
yeah,
I'm just sitting at home watching a movie on, a Thursday night or something. And then,
yeah.
yeah, it's insane.
all right. So let's get into the Alex interview.
Yeah. Well, do you wanna keep going? You wanna
I'll go ahead. I'll do it.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so I'm just going to repeat myself, but Alex is the powerhouse behind Kinkatopia, the world's only Kinkajou-specific sanctuary founded in March 2018. With over 20
Mhm.
years' experience working with exotic animals, she launched Kinkatopia after rescuing her first Kinkajou, Arkham, and
Mm.
discovered a lack of research and dedicated care for the species. Known affectionately as the mother of Kinkajous, Alexandra splits her time between sanctuary life and broader impact, collaborating. I hope this is all right, but Florida
It is.
Fish and Wildlife, appearing in major media outlets and educating an ever-growing online community about proper exotic animal care. So, in addition to her advocacy, Alexandra has been open about her journey in recovery, maintaining sobriety. She credits much of her growth and resilience to her work at Kinkatopia. So,
Before we keep going, can you give us the handle for your socials so people can follow you?
Of course, it's just at Kinkatopia.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
just
so
at my name. Simple.
what's funny? I had Chat GPT do a background check on you. Forgive me. I feel like it's allowed if it's just Chat GPT asking
I
for.
don't even know how this thing works. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Oh my
Alexandra
God.
is the warm, no-sense voice of Kinkajou advocacy, charismatic educator leveraging social platforms to show the true lives of exotic animals. She is a tireless rescuer, actively collaborating with Florida Fish and Wildlife to reunite lost or abandoned Kinkajous, relatable mentor in wellness and recovery, connecting emotional well-being with animal care. So
Don't you love it?
you know how the internet reads you?
Yeah, right?
I mean,
Isn't
that's
it
pretty
crazy?
spectacular.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like, holy crap. It
So,
just like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. It
all
it's
blows
right.
my
it's
mind.
So,
insane. So
yeah,
I have a question for Alexandra.
jump in.
Um, okay, so you've built a devoted following, over 1 million on TikTok and Instagram, and showcasing kinkajous. I'm probably killing it. The kinkajous in Spanish,
Kinky do.
showcasing kinkajous and your sanctuary, Kinkatopia. How did that journey begin, Alexandra? And why did you choose
Mm.
social media as your platform?
So, and that's a good question because it ties into my time with Michaela. So
Oh,
back in like 2014, Instagram's kind of fresh. It's just starting at that point. So I came down from Pennsylvania to Florida in 2012 to get sober.
mhm.
Um, I was probably a year and a half to 2 years sober when I really started getting into the animal world. And, that's when I just kind of slowly discovered it was simple. You just hashtag something, and all of a sudden, but because I had different animals and because, what I had was different, I gathered a following. So, let's see, I had 3.5 years when I did relapse. And at that time, I grew my Instagram to like 40,000 followers. And that, is all organic, all back in the day, my Facebook and everything. So, and it did when unfortunately, when I relapsed, like it was really public, and really public too, because of how well known, I had made the organization at that time. It was a different organization. I wasn't a nonprofit yet. Um, so I relapsed. And when I went into treatment. I had animals here at the home, and I had a facility filled with animals, just like a small storefront with some, not huge anyways, but so my ex at the time moved all of the animals, so I was able to make a decision to go to treatment and not be able to use them as an excuse to stay here. But he did keep my two kinkajous. To rewind, I got Arkham spontaneously. I am literally the person I say, please don't get a kinkajou. I met one. I took a loan out from my bank, and I got one 48 hours later. A 3-week-old baby that had no business being away from his mom at that age, from a
Oh,
pet shop. I did all the things wrong. I thought
yeah.
I knew better than everyone. He's my baby. Like, he was,
Yeah.
and these animals, God bless them, they went through all of this with me. And my ex did hold on to them, and he did care for them throughout the time. And then when I got out, he I knew that these kinks could turn aggressive, but it wasn't going to happen to mine, and it sure as heck did. And I got pretty badly mauled. They are very vicious. They can turn. They need to be neutered. I could go on a whole tangent about that, but I got really badly injured, and it took
Mm,
5 really bad injuries for me to be like, okay. But in that time, I called a woman who runs a really well-known sanctuary here, McCarthy's Wildlife Sanctuary. I called her, and she talked to me, and it reminded me of the program. It reminded me of the 12 steps, because she's like, you have this animal, and she'd been in a similar situation. So here I have someone like a mentor, kind of like a sponsor, but she's saying, you made the decision to do this. You need to accept it. You need to find a solution. You need to figure out how to make sure this animal gets what he needs, and you need to try to have some form of a relationship with him. And that was it for me. When I was in treatment, I actually did get my nonprofit's license. I had applied for it when I was using, and by the grace of God, managed, it was right there. So I knew I had my future. Um, but I took that year away, and I took that year to focus on myself. And I worked with Arkham, and Gotham is my two original ones. And then I just knew that I wanted to launch and do Kinkajous. Like, that's where my heart was going. And I never got in touch with my animals before. That's another side of the story. Um, I wholeheartedly believe that they're taken care of, and that they're safe and they're okay. I mean, this is a long time ago now, but so yeah, I decided to go with kinks. My ex agreed, because he never thought anyone would give me a kinkajou. Who is kinkajous? So I put Kinkatopia on Instagram, just an Instagram account, and within 48 hours, I got a call about Chloe, who lives in the enclosure in front of me. And the rest is history. So why did I choose social media? I went back to it because I knew that it worked. It
yeah.
was a hell of a challenge those first couple years, because I had to fight my reputation. I had to rebuild myself. And I had to, there were a lot of people, I got approached a lot. I'd see my mugshot, and I just approached it with, do you want to talk about it? And they're
Mm,
like, what? Like it, and I've had some really good conversations that I still keep in contact with people today, which has been incredible. Um, but when TikTok came along and I saw it was a new platform, I was sitting at work and I looked to the girl on my left, Nicole, and I said, I'm gonna get on this platform. No one has Kinkajous on this platform. Like, I'm gonna do it.
yeah.
And that was probably right before COVID. And then I started my account, and then in September it just stupidly went viral for a silly reason. Um, and yeah, the rest is history. I was like, here's my in. I got to run with this, and we did. And now Kinkatopia has over 3 million followers across all of our platforms, which
Beautiful.
is insane. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great. I love that.
yeah, yeah.
Before we go into the next question, Lindsay, I'm going to run a video about narcissistic abuse.
Beautiful.
So let's do that, and we'll still be on the screen, like three little. Okay, ready? Have you ever felt like you've lost yourself, like someone else's manipulative grip was holding you back from being the strong, beautiful soul you truly are? I take you on a journey, my journey, through the darkness of narcissistic abuse to the light of freedom and self-love. Through personal stories, hard-won lessons, and powerful strategies, I'll show you how to break free from toxic patterns and reclaim your power. You are worthy of joy. You are worthy of love. And my friends, you are worthy of the life you've always dreamed of. Let me help you get there. It's time to heal, to thrive, and to live life on your terms. This isn't just a book, it's your guide to a brighter, more powerful you. Grab your copy of Healing from Narcissism today and let the transformation begin. All right. All right. So here we're back. So, Lindsay, do you want to take the next
Yeah, I
question?
think, it's a good question even after what you were just sharing, because
Mm,
in covering exotic pet content, platforms often promote cute clips, but shy away from the potential risks.
Mhm.
So apparently in 2021, in an NPR piece, you mentioned
yes.
that unfortunate viral bits
Yes.
can mislead viewers. So,
Yes.
and again, in the story you were just telling about getting bitten, how has this phenomenon affected your community? And I think the question is, and you can read it any way you want,
Mm,
but it's like, to get views, a lot of people do irresponsible things, and
mm,
people can get very hurt. And in
mm,
your world, people can get seriously hurt, and the animals can get killed.
mhm,
So, talk a little bit about that, if you would.
mm. Of course. No, it definitely is a double-edged sword. And I think that, back in like 2008, when like Paris Hilton had her kinkajou and stuff like that, when they like people started hearing about them, and there is like this age group I'll find of, kinks from around then that need to be rehomed or whatever. And then yeah, with social media just making them, I mean, they are adorable. I mean, it's easy, but yeah, you have a social media platform and you just show all the good stuff or all the cute. People have no idea what's going on in the background. I got lucky in a sense that the things that I went viral for were kind of goofy. I referred to a kennel as a jail for a naughty Jew, Kinkajous. I didn't even think, turned off the camera, and it was in a video. Things in my home turned animal sanctuary that just make sense. So that was silly. This is how you catch a kinkajou. You can hold them by their tail. They have a prehensile tail. So that
Mm.
went viral. But of course, very chastised because you're holding a cat, or that's not how you hold them, or you don't know what you're doing, or it's just insane. I can put a little note up there, whatever. Um, I it took me a little bit, like once I got some people following me, and it really, I mean, it was just kind of like showing my day-to-day life. And I really focused on the animals' personalities, and people really liked that. And it was cool. And like we were a little smaller because I mean, I could really focus on, you know, maybe 10 personalities and show them off, and everyone knows their names and stuff. Now there's 30, so there's a lot more. But I focused on the personalities, and then that was able to get me into the good, bad, and the ugly. And people who stuck with me, I mean, they see it. My whole story, if you look at it holistically, shows the challenge of this journey. I've always been extremely open, probably more open than people want me to be. Um, I used to be more open. I really have had a challenge this year and kind of over the past year and a half of kind of getting myself together. And over the past 6 months, I've actually been running this place by myself. So I'm focusing on animal care, and that's been really challenging, but I digress. It is, I just try to be as honest as possible, and I try to make sure people see the other side. I really try my best to talk about it, and show it as best as I can. I mean, I've talked about bites, I've shown the destruction. Um, at this point, the lost kinkajous. I've talked about safety and how we need to keep them, because I wish that there were more regulations, but I know that there's a lot that goes into that. So, but yeah, it is a blessing and a curse. It is a blessing and a curse. A lot more people I see have them. Is it because I'm more aware of them because I am who I am?
Yeah.
Possibly. I advise people not to get them. They get them, and then a year later, they're like, "Hey, will you help rehome my animal?" Um, so it is. It's a blessing and a curse. It's like something kind of at this point that can't be avoided, but I just try the other side and show that as much as possible, and my community is really amazing because they will answer people, they will fill in the gaps. Natalie's one of them. I have these really great moderators who will stay in my comments and will, share the educational aspect or share what goes on in my daily life. Which is just, I mean, it's unreal. I've been through so much with these people I know. So yeah, it's yeah, we built like an army. It's crazy. So yes, a blessing and a curse,
I
but
hear
I get
you.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you personally or Kinkatopia faced cyberbullying, harassing comments, doxing, and fair criticism for how you care for and present Kinkajous. And I think you told us a little bit about it, but can you expand on that?
Mhm. Mhm. Well, yeah, the big thing here is me feeding them candy. There was a phase where they were people were sending candy from all over the world, and we were, they do their taste testing, and that's okay. People aren't looking at the fact that like this is in moderation. It's for a video. They just see it and think it's in video, so it happens all the time. They've got space, they've got proper diet. It's not hurting them. But again, like I shared, people will call the authorities, and are the United States of you know, USDA, um, United States Department of Agriculture, and then the FWC, Florida Fish and Wildlife. So, yes, they do call them, and I have really good relationships with my inspectors, and I typically don't even hear about these things until they're like in passing. So I just had my USDA inspection a couple weeks ago, and she was like, "Oh yeah, hey, I got to mention this," but like they trust me. They know that I'm doing the right thing. So yeah, there's a lot of that. I get bullied because I'm on such a small plot of property. It's true. I'm on less than a quarter acre. But like that one gets me because I just want to be like, well, what are you doing with your homestead?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I've invested and everyone has their own space and I've sacrificed all my personal space for these animals as best as I can. But like, what do it just, so that one gets me. But yeah, the care or, they shouldn't be walking on that type of shelf. They shouldn't be doing this. They shouldn't be eating that. Like it does. It's in a lot of videos. It's in a lot of videos. So
Yes.
right now, I'm not very popular with the algorithm. I've always had a challenge because of the kink and Kinkatopia. They think I'm
Oh,
something else.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's been a battle since day
no.
one. Yeah, we've had to
I
battle
remember
community
that. I
guidelines
remember
violations.
you getting banned early on because of
Yep,
How
that.
annoying.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that
It
was
happens
something.
everywhere on
By the
all the
way,
platforms.
The whole
Alexandra,
kinky Jew thing, the whole kinky Jew. Remember the whole
Mhm.
kinky Jew thing?
Oh yeah,
There
yeah.
was
I
like
love
a
her.
kinky Jew. Yeah, yeah, that
Say the
was
gay. She's fantastic, and I still talk to
whatever
her.
it was, but that was something that was funny.
She's great.
so here
So
Natasha is saying hi. Hi,
Hi. Oh hi.
Natasha.
Hi. Thank you so much for coming.
And I see them all the time. I watch animals all day long. Like if
Mm.
I had known when I was 25 that I would watch a woman who grooms dogs all day long, that girl with dogs, I'm like, groom a dog. Like I just want to watch for like at least 10 minutes. So, but I see it. I see the dog influencers. So I think somebody, a hockey player, I saw it this morning. They were doing a pedigree ad with his beautiful dog, and every comment was like, "How can you feed your animal that? You're a criminal. You're whatever." I'm guessing they don't even feed the dog that. They just did the ad.
Right.
But so I see it all the time. I saw people reporting a woman in California because they didn't think her chickens and peacocks should be together. Now, I don't
Mm.
know if chickens and peacocks should be together, so I'm not calling anyone about it. But
Right. Right.
I look at the comments and it's like, I've reported you, blah, blah, blah. So
Give us some free time. Gosh.
I know, right?
I saw there was some funny meme that was like, somebody said, my new favorite hobby is reporting and whatever it was, I don't want to say on YouTube. And somebody commented, really? Because my favorite pastime is hanging out with my friends and family. And it was like,
No, it's
Yes.
crazy. And then these
Clap for
so
that.
the Reddit groups, the subreddit group. That was one of the main things that existed with Michaela that she became aware of. But a lot of these big creators will have some type of a Reddit. I have not found mine. I don't think mine exists. I don't know if it is not on Reddit. But yeah, I don't
so
think
what
that I'm
kind
really.
Yeah. What are the kinds of harmful or hurtful messages do you typically see around exotic animal influencers? Like they don't know what they're doing.
You
Oh,
don't
you
know
know
what
what
you're
else?
doing. You should live in a
Misappropriating
cage.
funds.
Huh? What?
Threats of misappropriating funds. I see that a
Oh yeah,
lot.
that's another. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The
Everyone
dog
wants to
rescue.
challenge that. Anytime you ask for money or ask for a donation, they want to how much and this and that. I remember when I had the bee situation, and I think like the bee situation just happened, and I mean, we put up a fundraiser, people were already sending in money, and I think the
Yeah.
fundraiser was like for $5,000 something. And someone came up and they were like really hell-bent on the fact that I had a fundraiser up for this and that I was just going to be collecting money off of it. And it's like, my animal died, we need to cut down trees, we're like, this is like ground zero here at this point, like this
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah.
And they come at like the worst times too, I feel.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just when I pay attention to them. But Facebook seems more prevalent than Instagram. And again,
Oh,
like just sometimes when someone challenges whether it's medical or why didn't she do this or something, and every once in a while I'll just chime in and I'll just tell them straight up. I'm not nasty about it, but I'll respond because they don't think I'm going to respond. So I like to surprise some people. Be like,
Right.
oh, hey, guess what? I am here. So, yeah, a lot diet. Just that a lot of the things come back to like, I shouldn't exist because
mm,
I'm housing wild animals and would I like to be kept like this? And why am I doing this? And they should all be released. And yeah,
These animals would get eaten and killed so quickly if they were released. I always think that's interesting when people criticize
so
rescue
fast.
birds. And it's like, do you know what these animals, the conditions these animals would be in if somebody wasn't taking care of them? It's just bananas. All right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'll tell you, they'll be
absolutely.
electrocuted on the freaking power lines because I just dealt with that recently
Oh,
with one that was loose.
oh.
Um, yeah,
Well,
it's heartbreaking.
well,
So,
before I ask the next question, I want to make sure you hydrate, Alexandra. I know that's the
oh
mommy
yeah,
and
I know you see me
oh,
going.
because
Welcome to Florida.
yeah, because it's like dehydration happens so fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden I'm dizzy. I think I'm dying. Yeah, and it's yeah. So I
Oh
want to
yeah.
make sure
I'm
you're
out
okay.
here every day. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
you're
do.
welcome.
I'm
At
terrible
least
with
for our
water.
interview. After that, I don't care. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You know what? I'm so bad with drinking water. I got myself those jelly dementia drops. Have you guys
Oh,
seen them?
No.
That's what I eat those.
Okay.
I
Smart.
got all sorts of perks, guys. I'm all sorts of ay ay
I love that. Don't we all? Come on,
ay.
please.
Oh,
So, how does cyberbullying affect you emotionally and operationally, especially when your content is aimed at education and animal welfare? Like, how does it affect you?
it makes me feel like I'm either fighting a battle that no one wants to care about or that people are fighting against me. In the beginning, and I don't know, I might still be called this because like I've removed myself from a lot of like the any like public animal groups and stuff like that, but I was called the Carol of Kinks, like Carol Baskin. So, and that's because I'm saying kinkajous should not be pets. They should not be pets. They're not pets. They're wild animals. And it's a very
Right.
small amount of people that are going to be able to meet what they
Right.
need to have a quality life, to have a happy, healthy animal. And I'm sorry, it's just, it doesn't work out for most. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate because then it all falls back on the animal.
Yeah.
So, um, I mean, I tried to fight it a bit in the beginning, or speak up more and this and that. And I've just withdrawn, to be completely honest. I I mean, I've had someone reach out to volunteer and they turned out to be like really aggressive on the phone.
Oh.
Um Another thing too, and this isn't cyberbullying, it's just like part of the life, but like I get recognized out in public. So like, I'm I always got to be I guess aware, like, I've been eating lunch before and people have come over, and I've been a couple weeks ago I was eating lunch and people were filming me while I was eating. Like it's insane because it's like,
What?
to me it's the
You're
animals that
famous.
are,
Like you're famous.
That is so
and it's so,
intrusive.
and it's really uncomfortable. I've been having
Yeah.
conversations with people and come and get interrupted, and I want people, when I'm out, I want people to feel that they can approach me. I just want them to treat me like a human. And most
Yes.
of the time it's just interrupt, can I get a picture, bye. And it's just like, okay. And then I've had them, interrupt conversations that, with someone I was in high school with, and she walked away from me. It just, so it's just, I don't, I have a lot of parasocial relationships. I have a lot of human relationships. I got divorced last year. I've been going through this whole reset of my entire life and trying to find different communities, and it's really hard.
Yeah.
And with social media and stuff, I don't read the comments anymore. I've kind of just like lost my spark. I don't,
Hmm.
I just don't feel entirely whole. I don't feel like myself.
Yeah.
And then two, there's this constant battle of, it's the algorithm. Are people going to see me? Are they not going to see me? Am I seen? Hey guys, I need help.
Right.
And it's all contingent on a computer algorithm, whether they're going to push out your content or not. And if I don't post every day, I don't get seen. It's so much pressure
Yeah.
Mm.
when I'm
Yeah.
living with all of the pressure of this. And then I'm the person, I'm me, I'm who I depend on. Like, there's no one that I'm gonna, fall back on. It's just me. So it's really hard. So yeah, I've shut out that noise. And I've just been trying to take care of myself, and I keep my phone
Mhm.
on silent a lot. It just all seems like a lot of noise. So
Right. And you need to
yeah.
withdraw from that, right? How do you do that? Like, besides turning your phone off?
It's taken me a really, 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 really long time to have a safe place
Mm.
here. But I have managed to turn my home. I turned it into this gorgeous, like, jungle leopard print. Like, I literally foliage everywhere. It's gorgeous. Lindsay, you're gonna die.
I love
I'm
that.
so happy, and it's so me. And I found pole dancing. I love doing aerial
I
athletics.
was
I
like,
found
I hope
something that
she
I
brings up
so
the
That's so
pole
enjoy.
dancing.
fun.
I'm
Why
gonna
I
bring it
wore
up.
my
Yes, I
leopard.
love it. I
You
love
have
it.
to see the pictures of her dressed in leopard on the pole. I'm gonna find it.
Oh my
But
God.
you
Oh,
have to add the most important part. I climb with my Kinkajous.
Yeah.
So I do have pictures with the
no.
kinks. And then, yeah, we've started climbing with them. So I'm a boreal like my animals. But so I found out that, I really enjoy and stuff. But having the balance, I have a really incredible volunteer who works a couple shifts a week. But, at the end of the day, I'm the one who's here by myself at the end of the night with all the animals. And it's amazing, but it's lonely. And social media is the last place I want to be, So
I
it
hear you.
just, yeah, it is. But then,
Oh my God,
yeah,
that is
there
so cool.
we
Oh my God,
go.
I love
That's gonna be,
it.
that's in
That is
January.
So
amazing.
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
jump in
Thank
and
you.
elongate this question
Go
just
for it.
because I think, I feel like if we like, and I forget to answer these questions when I'm talking about it, but you also work a great program. I mean, you're
I
somebody
do
who
work with,
works, and it doesn't matter what exactly goes into it, but you're somebody who has written about recovery. You share your story with others.
Mhm.
You do all of the stuff that we want people to do who are working, recovery programs. So
Trying.
I don't want to leave that out, that on top of everything else, you are, yeah, go ahead.
I could go to more meetings. Continue.
We all could. We all could. But I really, I'm a lifestyle person, and I love that she
Mm.
got into the dancing, and I love that she has warriors in her community. That's what
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of missing at Reach Out Recovery. We need our
Mhm.
warriors. So we're working on that.
And
So
also
I was going to
Natalie.
say, on top of the strategies for dealing with negativity, but do you involve your audience and counter negativity? And I know you talked about it, so I just want to follow up. Have you noticed followers stepping up to defend Kinkatopia or shift the narrative?
Perfect timing. I'm sorry to
Mhm.
interrupt. But look at
Mm.
Natalie. She's saying, Alex, never
She's
forget you're an
wonderful.
amazing human. You'll get
Oh,
your spark back. I'll keep reminding
She
you, you're
does.
amazing. I'm always here if you need anything.
Mm.
That's just right there, the evidence.
that's why
I
you do
know.
it.
And it's really
Yes.
incredible. So it's like, cyberbullying, and then I've got the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm so grateful because I am covered with love.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I could go to more meetings. I do work a 12-step program. I go to therapy twice a week. I've been doing EMDR. I mean, I've been doing this for quite a while, and right now I'm just trying to focus on God's will and not mine.
Right.
Because it's an interesting era in my life, but it's happening and it is what it is. And I'm doing my best to keep going. And the animals, at the end of the day, the animals are well fed, they're clean, they're taken care of. It's just trying to battle all the other things, doing the website and the admin work and the fundraising and the this and that. I am one person, and it's
It's
just,
a lot.
I've let
It
it
is a
I've
lot.
had to let go. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Plus the stress of all the BS, from
Mhm.
the haters. It's
Mhm.
just, yeah, that's why that's great. I think it's great that you withdraw and do not reply to the comments. I think that is taking care and taking charge of your mental health in a beautiful way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely. Drink your water. Good, good, good.
Mm,
All
no,
right,
self
Grace,
care,
what should
self
we ask
care.
her? We have a couple of questions left and then some tips. Grace, you choose.
Okay, okay. This is good. What advice would you give fellow animal influencers or influencers in general, but especially those working with exotic animals or staying resilient and on staying resilient and safe online?
Hmm. Hmm. I would definitely have, if you have the ability to have moderators, or have,
Mm,
maybe someone looking out for you.
yeah,
That's definitely good. But it is something you got to be mentally prepared for it. And
right.
honestly, the best thing to do at the end of the day is just like delete and block. I do a lot of that. I do a
Oh,
lot, quiet. Yeah.
that's like a
Just to
sport for me too. Yeah, it's
yeah.
delete and block. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's
Always.
amazing because you don't see that it's not that person is not in your energy field.
Yep.
I'm a
Yeah.
quantum physics nerd, so yeah, literally they're not in your quantum, so they can't access you.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. And step
that's the
away
way to
and
go.
do self-care and don't run yourself ragged with it. Cause yeah, I mean, I burnt out on it. And now, here
Mhm.
I am. And I'm like, how do I get it back? Because this place needs to run.
Yeah,
So yeah, but take
absolutely.
care of yourself. Take care of yourself and have a village.
And I'll tell you something funny that I didn't expect at all. When that situation happened with that guy, my friend Marisa, who owns Laser Kitten, she's an incredibly talented designer, but she's avant-garde fashion, punk, whatever punk glitter they call it. She
Hmm.
dresses rappers. She's received a lot of stuff online, and I won't speak to it, but entire gangs of girls accusing her of stealing their designs or doing this and doing.
Oh,
And when this
Crazy.
happened, and I was like sobbing to her, one of the things she said to me, and I really appreciate this, she goes, "Girl, you need to get a thicker skin.
Yeah, you gotta have thick skin. Yep.
If you're
Yep,
going to
you
be
really do.
online, like,
Yep.
this is going to happen. And you've got to like find your ability to,
yeah,
kind of look the other way from it."
absolutely. I do stand up, right? And
Mm.
to be able to go on stage, I sing, I don't give up. I don't give up. You know?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what they think of me.
that's
Now,
great.
No,
yeah,
it's true. It's true. It is true. And thank God, I'm in a 12-step program because that has been incredibly helpful too, because this has all been, I mean, it's been redemption and regrowth since, my relapse and getting everything back in order and stuff. So, um, yeah, it
All
is.
right,
It's
last
a
two
journey.
questions. I think these are
Mhm.
really important. The
okay, go
Okay.
first
for it.
one, as platforms evolve, what changes would you most like to see to protect animal focused creators and spotlight the full reality of wildlife care? And part two, how can viewers engage responsibly with exotic animal influencers? Like, how would you tell a viewer to support you?
Mhm. Well, I mean, definitely engage. Any engagement is going to push our content and help us. And, whether you think about it or not, it all comes together. The more people see, the more exposure. And again, I'm running a 501(c)(3) charity. Like, I'm not trying to panhandle here on the internet. It's just like, you got to get the word out. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, so engagement helps, liking and sharing, all that helps, just anything that's positive, or if you have an experience with the animal, it's crazy that I even have to like kind of like,
Well, I
answer
know
this
it's,
like
I know.
but
What would be a feature that would protect people? Can we
a
even think of
feature.
one? Yeah, like certain words or
So yeah, there is in most of the platforms, you can block certain words and phrases and things like that. So I do know, if you're struggling with this, go into your privacy settings, and there is a multitude of things there that can help you, prevent that. um I know that, but I mean, honestly, just do your thing, be true to yourself, and do self-care,
Yeah,
and the people who support you are going to continue to support you, and they're going to freaking ride into the dawn with you. Like, I
yes.
can't, like, I mean, these people I've seen so much over the years. It's really crazy to stop and think about it. and the people that are still with me, the names that I recognize and stuff. And then,
Mhm.
I want to have in contact. I want to have like personal relationships with all these people, but it's not possible. And that's
Yeah, that's
another
a lot.
struggle, being an
Yeah.
empath and having all these
Yes.
people being, I mean, there's like this beauty, no, there's more beauty than there is negativity. And I've gotten
Yes.
letters, emails, all different reasons, hearing about someone's son who, was in hospice and like just watch Kinkatopia videos, until he passed and like what that meant to them. And I've been a
Yeah.
part of a memorial service for someone who passed away. I got my Ariel, I got my tattoo for Ariel. I mean, I've connected with people in ways I never thought I could, and with recovery and everything. So it can be really, really, really beautiful. But I just like as a human, I have no idea how to facilitate being a part of it all, and that's frustrating too, because I am a loving person. I want to care, I want to help, like, but I'm just so spent,
Mm-hmm.
Monday night our power went out. And like I've just dealt with so many disasters at this point that I'm just like
Hmm.
burnt, like, it's just like one chaos after another. It's the nature of the beast. It's,
Yeah.
the environment that I live in and whatever. But yeah, so it'll hit you at any time. And it's just like, okay, I got to do this. Like I have no choice. I know what happened before when I went the
Hmm.
other direction and how I failed. I will never, I say this, God willing, I will never ever take that path again. I will never do that to those animals. These
Yeah.
guys are my life. So
Yes.
it is
And
a battle. It is a daily battle.
I'm going to point something out because I'm weird like this.
Mm,
Into signs. And as you were saying, you're an empath. I noticed the sweat. I know this is gross. I'm sorry. I'm pointing that out. It's a heart.
It is a heart.
is it
It's a
really?
heart. You're all heart. I love
Rory, if you're watching this, Evie's here.
that. Oh.
Hearts
Oh,
signify my friend's Al Monkey who passed away. Her handprint is actually right here.
Oh.
Yeah, and
oh.
that's another thing. It just I could go on and on. It just this world turned out to be so
Hmm.
beautiful, but also so much heavier than I ever expected it to be, and I didn't expect to hold it on my own. But I know it's temporary. I believe it's temporary. So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to address some people
Mhm.
here on Instagram, which I can't post the comments, but there's some people that are saying, how can I join in the future? Because I'm on TikTok. I would love to collaborate. So I told them to follow you on Kinkatopia.
Perfect. Mm,
So some people are just, I'm sorry, guys, on Instagram, I can't post the comments here on this app. So we'll just address them later. So if you left, sorry. So let's go to the tips, I think, Lindsay, before we
Okay.
leave. So yeah, go for it.
So I'm just going to run through these quickly. And these are, I think they're pretty good. I've certainly tried some of them. So these are tips to handle cyberbullying. And I've learned this the hard way. Both times I got into a bullying situation, I engaged. Do
Ah,
not engage. Never engage. Uh,
mm-hmm.
comment is saying something nasty. They are looking for a fight. You
yes.
might want it, like your instinct, my instinct was to clarify and say, oh, you've misunderstood. This is what I
Yeah.
meant, and blah, blah, blah. No, it's only going to make it worse. Do
They'll
not.
always twist it.
So resist the urge to fire back. Instead, take a screenshot if it's anything that's disturbing, record the date, and keep the
Mm,
receipts. Both of these ladies said it: block, mute, and report.
Yep.
If anything does happen, you need a trail. We do
yeah.
know this from the law and other legal things.
Yes.
You need a written, evidential, whatever it is,
Mm,
trail of what's transpired. So you can block the bully, you can mute their account, you can report the abuse. Number three, you need to tell someone you trust. It
Mhm.
doesn't
mm,
matter how small it is. If something is happening that's alarming you, especially if somebody is making threats,
Yep.
whether it's a friend, parent, therapist, or group, tell somebody. And even if it's somebody who can just support you so you don't feel scared or frightened, it's not just about
yeah.
safety, it's about support. Um, don't secure your digital space. So Alexandra was talking about it. Look at your privacy settings.
Hmm.
The minute that guy did something, I made it impossible to stitch me. You can't share
Good.
videos now.
Yeah.
Review who can tag, review who can message you. You can't put anything on my Facebook without me allowing it to go up there now, because
Yeah.
people did weird things when I started
Yep.
all of this.
No. Or they tag you in a very unflattering picture.
No, when I started doing the TikToks, I did a few that were a little bit more sexy. You know, I'm pretty conservative online, you know, just the way I look and
You were
dress.
just trying to feel, yeah, you were feeling out what
Yeah, but
worked.
I would find stuff out, and I did
Yeah.
something in a little lingerie, and a guy like posted a picture of me with a picture of him and like a big heart
Ew.
between us.
Ew.
Yo,
Yeah,
yo,
No.
yo, yo,
I'm
yo.
so,
it
oh,
was like
I've never
weird.
dealt with
Yeah, it
creepy
was
men.
just
I've been
weird.
so lucky. I've been
So
so
you're
lucky.
very, very lucky. As a comedian, I've been dealing with this shit for years. People think they're your boyfriends. Like they talk to you every day. Like, and it's like, dude, you're not my boyfriend. Stop. They just,
I've
Weird.
heard comedians are pretty wonky too. Other
oh my God. Or they come after the
comedians.
show and they tell you the craziest shit. Then they follow you and it's like, oh my God, another block, delete.
Oh no. Oh no, you can't do it in person though. I wish.
I
Oh
know, I
man.
know.
Right?
It's torture, torture. All
All
right,
right,
let's
I'm
move
Oh
running
into
through
God.
it so we end on
That's
time.
good.
Don't internalize the hate. Their cruelty
Yeah.
says everything about them, not
Yeah.
you. Again,
yes,
why are you doing hate instead of hanging out with your friends and family?
yes.
So keep affirmations close and never let their words define you. Take breaks when you need them. We all do it. Social media ain't going anywhere. And by the way, the cycle is so fast. Even when people take a break for like
Mhm.
months, then they're back. I'm like, oh, they're back. It was like they were never gone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So don't
It
think
is
that.
hard to restart though. I will say, as a creator, it is
Mhm.
really hard to restart in this day and
Okay.
age with as many billions of accounts. So like, I mean, but that's the conundrum because like, yeah, that's the right thing to
Mhm.
do and would love to do it. But then you're fighting this battle that like,
Yeah.
well, crap, I'm not gonna get back in the scene. And it's true.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
living it.
All right.
So,
Fair enough.
but no, so I guess I'm just saying that be aware of that as a consequence. And maybe that's,
Sure.
something that needs to happen for us, but it's just,
How
yeah,
about this? If you need it for your business, maybe hire somebody, even somebody
there you
off like
go.
Fiverr
There
to
you
run it
go.
for a
Yeah.
month or two.
That's a good
So
idea.
you don't
Yeah.
have to do it.
Yeah. Outsource it.
Yeah.
Mm,
And educate and empower others. If you are in a leadership or teaching role, spread awareness, talk about online empathy, kindness, and what to do when things cross the line. So I think
Mhm.
the main takeaways from me today are take care of your mental health, build a
Yeah.
really kind community who will support you. But when you're passionate about something, as long as you share it responsibly and with love, I think you should go with it. And we're here to support you, Alex. And I'm sorry for what animal influencers go through. I am. I think it's a shame because I love animal
Yeah.
influencers and they're going out of their way. And you can't imagine, for anybody listening that's curious, you actually can't imagine the stress these people are under, having
Wow.
to feed these animals, make sure these animals' cages have what they need, they're clean enough, they have electricity if it's hot or cold, or they're constantly dealing with all kinds of issues. And I just think, like, give the animal influencers some love. They just
Please.
But it is 24/7. There's no sick days. My entire life and schedule circulate like around what needs to be done here at what time. I don't have free days or I can just chill and go from time to, it is.
this
It's
is
a
your
lot. And
life.
then you got to remember to slow down with the animals because then you miss out on what's going on in your life. It's crazy. So, yeah,
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Alexandra,
this is so
for
good. Thank you.
your honesty, for your desire to help others that are going through this, also through the cyberbullying. And thank you for making yourself vulnerable and being so
Of
open about
course.
what you're going through, what you went through, your sobriety, the cyberbullying, everything. We love you and appreciate you very, very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
both
being
so
here.
much. This is awesome.
Okay,
You're
good.
very
Yep.
welcome. All right, you guys, remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share. And go ahead and follow Alexandra at Kinkatopia and Lindsay at Reach Out Recovery. And me, I'm the State of Grace Fraga. all over the place. So have an amazing day, you guys, and we will see you soon.